it's me, Wes.
And Marcelo.
And welcome to Arc 4 of Trash Talk. Yeah!
Brand new arc. We're doing sequels this time. Brand new look. You know, we've got a different angle of recording, and we're finally in HD.
Yeah, so we can
Crystal
see
clear.
both our pretty faces, though mine is a little bit prettier than his.
Whatever. Oh my god, you can see my beard all up close and personal.
Yeah, I would have a beard too, but...
He has nothing. He's got baby face. Oh my god, no, actually you have some stubble there.
Yeah, I have some stubble. I do have stubble.
Anyway, Trash Talk, we're talking about our facial hair. Okay, so we've got an awesome game today. You want to go ahead, or am I going to say it?
Oh yeah, you're going to say it.
Okay, so we are doing Super Smash Bros. Melee.
Yay!
Super Smash Bros. Melee. Only for Nintendo Gamecube.
Alright, here's the box. It's awesome. Okay, so go ahead and say...
So, a little quick summary about the game. The game was published in 2001 by HAL Laboratory and licensed by Nintendo.
Of course. Let me just go ahead and say real quick. I've said it before in like the Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS videos we've done in the past, but this is the first Smash and first game with Mario, not first Mario game, that I've ever played. And I played it at my friend's house a couple of years ago, and I loved it so much that I got it that year for Christmas in the bundle pack, the GameCube with Smash, and it's freaking awesome. This is a classic. But yeah. So it's awesome. That's all I really gotta say. That's like the blanket review right there. It's pretty all right. So story.
So yeah,
awkward segue. But anyway.
But anyway, there's really no story with Melee per se, though Marcel will go into a little bit more detail about that.
Yeah, so there are, like, Brawl does have a story with Subspace Emissary, and Smash for Wii U and 3DS doesn't have much of a story really either, but Melee does not have a story. Really, it's just, there are villains though, you know, obviously. There's Master Hand and Crazy Hand, and that's kind of it, if you really think about it. Really, okay, so Smash, and for the N64, the first Smash game, the characters were all portrayed as like plush dolls, but from Melee onward, they were portrayed as trophies, and you could collect trophies in the game as well in various ways. They had like a little, not slot machine game, but like a little, you know, like when you get the gumballs out, you put a coin in, and then you just get a gumball?
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like that.
That's not really a game, it's just called getting a gumball.
Well...
a gumball machine.
Well, it's kind of like a little... Well, it's not really a game. Whatever. You use coins to freaking get trophies.
Yeah, you just get... just get coins that you win, and then you just put it in there, and then you get your little reward.
So that's... You get trophies that way. You get them... sometimes you just earn them randomly if you pick them up on, like, a adventure mode or something. That's kind of it. I don't know. You earn them other ways. But yeah, from this game onward, they're all portrayed as trophies that come to life and fight each other. So that's pretty sweet. But besides that, there is no real story to Smash. So that's really it for that. Next topic, which is...
pretty much it's the controls. And we're both kind of have mixed feelings about the controls.
Yeah.
Because the first Smash game that I played was not Melee or even the N64 version of the game. But... pretty much my first one was Brawl.
Yeah.
So with that, that's the one I played the most out of. That's the one I had the most fun with. So yeah, I'm kind of used to Brawl's controls, in which compared to Melee's is really slow, but also kind of more fluid. As I have played Melee a couple of times.
Yeah.
A couple, or I think at least 3 times. And I remember that the gameplay is very frantic, which gives it an exciting mood, especially when there's like a bunch of people, like, but it can also become like really confusing at some points. And I couldn't really get used to the speed at all.
Yeah, there was this factor when I first started, I think when everyone first started playing Smash, of, alright, because it's not like obviously it's not like any fighter you've ever played before, and some try to copy Smash, but Smash is the first of its kind to do a fighting game in this style. So of course with 4 players running around, you'd be like, oh my god, what's going on, where am I in? I don't know if I've said this before, but I do feel that Smash Wii U and 3DS Smash Wii U with the 8-player Smash gave me that feeling all over again. But yeah, Melee is more frantic. It's one of the most frantic in terms of speed, like just the general speed, because you can even sometimes, I think, it's either special smash or just like in the options you can change the speed around a bit to make it go either faster or a bit slower. But its general speed, the way the game feels, is pretty frantic, especially if you watch freaking people in like tournaments and tournaments stuff played. It's insane.
And so just a note, even though this game's what, like 13, 14 years old now?
Yeah, around. Well, it came out in 2001, so about 14 years. Holy crap.
About 14 years, people still play this.
Hell yeah.
Just because they like the frantic gameplay, which says something about a brawler, because when you think of a brawl, you don't think of like something that's a little bit controlled. You think of something like frantic, and just like out of control, going really out of control, really fast, especially with like a massive number of like people. Like,
So Blake, in response, does this game hold up today? Hell yeah. So I think all of them, to an extent, do.
Yeah.
But what I do have to say about the controls myself is, if I haven't said it before, which I think I might have, again, Brawl's controls, I favor Brawl over Melee, but only because of certain things that they improved off of Melee, which would be the controls for one, because Brawl feels, while a little less frantic and a bit more slower paced, the controls feel fluid. So if I can try to give a brief example, if you try to grab an item in Melee, you can't just like, when it falls through the air and you want to go catch it, I don't think you can do it at least as fluently as Brawl ended up letting you do. You just have to like pick it up like with A if you're near it or something. But with Brawl, if it's not even limited to just capsules. If capsules fall through the air, if just items themselves fall through the air, in Brawl you can just jump up to them and hit some sort of attack and you'll catch it. And it's just more fluent, at least in my opinion. It's more fluent than Melee, so I do favor Brawl over Melee for the controls and stuff.
But again, for it being as old as it is, and it still gets a lot of like attention and all that, I think this is pretty impressive.
Yeah, of course.
For any game.
Yeah, it's awesome. So next up is
the aesthetics.
Aesthetics. All right, you can go into that.
Pretty much back in the day. This game's so like, I don't think, is this game that old to where we can even say back in the day?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. All right. So back in the day when we were 5.
Yeah, about.
This game would have been considered to be graphically amazing, though in this day and age, with with the Xbox One and the PS4, they're behind us. You just can't see them because they're hiding. You could call them dated, but no, the graphics look the way they do. They look pretty good for that time period.
It's only dated in and like how it looks. The content of it, which is from these games, of course that stands up today because they're still doing it now, of course, there are original Smash Bros specific things in these games, but pretty much the aesthetics, and we'll get to the soundtrack in a bit, all come from, derive from different series and different things that are represented in these Smash games. So.
And like you can tell by this, by like the stages, like there are certain like Mario themed stages that kind of look like they just ripped them out from Mario.
Yeah.
And then like several stages from Legend of Zelda that look like they took them from Zelda.
This game gave us the Temple stage. Temple stage is always, it's a mainstay.
Yeah.
It is awesome.
And of course, who could we forget? Final Destination.
Oh, how can we forget Final Destination?
That is just like the most classic one out of them all.
Although it did, Final Destination did actually show up in the 64 game. So
really?
That's been a mainstay for every single Smash.
Yeah.
Although hold on. If I didn't say it already in another Smash, I've said that like 4 times already, but I really do favor the Wii U and 3DS's interpretation of Final Destination because it's freaking awesome. The way it looks is freaking great. But, okay, so, aesthetics. They're alright for its time, the way they look on this. For it being one of the first Gamecube games to come out, it doesn't look that bad. Again, it looks dated now, but they're not that bad.
Yeah, they're not too bad at all.
Yeah.
So with that, we come to the soundtrack.
The soundtrack. So the soundtrack, again, like the aesthetics, how we were just saying, they all derive from, if not original Smash-made songs, a majority of the music derives from all the different series being represented, and they all sound really awesome. They're all remixes. I don't think, save for a couple of songs, most of the songs are remixes. Like they keep the traditional Mario theme the way it was originally composed in the game in one of the Mario stages. The main theme for Super Mario Bros. 2, or the US version, is also in Smash. So yeah, save for a couple of songs, most of them are all remixes, but they all sound really awesome. So, and a lot of those are being put into Brawl and into into Brawl and Wii U and 3DS. So it's awesome. Same could go for stages. We didn't really. We should have. Well, we did talk about stages.
Yeah, we did kind of. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So. Yeah.
With that, we finally head up the ballpark with characters.
The characters. Okay.
So, as we all know, a lot of like characters from the N64 version, they come back. Pretty much Mario, Link, how could they not? But we also got. This is the game where we also got a lot of the other characters from the series, like Bowser, the Ice Climbers, which were not in the Wii U and 3DS version, and Roy, who just stayed in that game.
Roy.
Which is kind of sad because we miss Roy.
I always flip out about Roy. He was a pretty cool character. Yeah, Roy, Mewtwo, Mr. Game & Watch, Pichu, again only for that game. Zelda, Peach, Bowser, yeah,
Ganondorf.
Not Toon Link, Young Link, Ganondorf, Falco, a bunch of characters were put into this one. There were only about like 8 or 10 characters in the N64 game.
Yeah.
And they all obviously came back for this one. They're the ones that are always in every Smash game. But we did get a ton of characters from other series and stuff like...
Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to think what new series was being represented. Well, again, Fire Emblem was one of them. But in the vein of the soundtrack and the aesthetics, the characters, we're going to judge them now on how faithfully they were adapted from their games and their series to Smash, because Smash is its own little series. And obviously it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Because they all look, for the most part, what I like about it is about how they handle the characters in these games are they try to make them a bit more realistic, at least in terms of how their clothes look. Like they gave Mario actual denim overalls and made the,
they had, like, little
buttons
details.
all shiny and everything.
Yeah, they had like little details. They even kind of make him, like, they kind of make his skin a little bit more flesh toned.
A bit more, yeah.
A little slightly less cartoony, and even add like some shadow effects to it.
Yeah. So, and they do that for like all the characters. It's freaking great. So, the amount of detail like that, again, for it being on the GameCube, it looks freaking awesome. And then of course they went even further in Brawl. And then what I like that they did in the Wii U and 3DS version is they still had this sense of like realism to it, but it was more, they stuck more to how the characters even grew and changed physically in their own games, and they compensated for that.
Yeah.
So like in Brawl, it's pretty obvious in Brawl from that to the Wii with 3DS, where I know we're supposed to be talking about Melee, but just bear with me. How they made Mario a bit too realistic with how his clothes look and everything, and so for the Wii and 3DS, they went for, he's still cartoonish in the sense of how his clothes look, but now it's more subtle. I think that's what I'm trying to say here. It's a bit more subtle in the Wii and 3DS than how it is in Brawl, because while Melee started the way they look a little bit more realistic, Brawl tried to take it a bit further. It still looks cool, but it is also in its own right a bit dated. I don't know. But the characters, for how they had to come up with their fighting moves, again, lots of those animations, like, not even just how they attack, but the animations come straight from most of the Mario games. Well, most the games that are represented, like the Mario games, the Zelda games, you know. That's pretty cool. And anything you guys say about that?
Yeah, I think we're good on that front. So with that,
that's really it.
Yeah.
So, final verdicts.
So yeah, final verdicts. No, I haven't really played much of Melee, but it was alright. Do I like Brawl a little bit more? Of course I do. But Melee is a pretty good game, so I'll give it a 4 out of 5.
Okay, yeah. That's cool. Yeah, my verdict also I think has to be a 4 out of 5 because, yeah, I do favor Brawl a bit more. Brawl for me is the definitive Smash. That's just my opinion. That's how I feel about it. For how improved it was over Melee. I'm not knocking Melee for anything because Melee was really good. But again, one of the main things in your fighting game you want to look for is the characters and how they are, and its controls. And the controls are a bit iffy for me even to this day. And I just favor Brawls more because of how improved they were and how more fluid they feel. So that's
but again, not everybody would agree.
I mean, I
like
know.
some would say that
It's opinion.
It's an opinion, but in our modest opinion, Brawl has just a little bit more fluid and more timed controls compared to the other game.
Yeah, it just feels more seamless than Melee.
Yes.
Melee still feels a bit more like choppy.
Yeah.
Sort of. I don't know how to describe it, but
It's still fun.
yeah, of course.
So don't let us discourage you otherwise. This is a good game.
It is. It is awesome.
With the limitation it has, with being a 14-year-old game, it still holds up today. People still talk about it. People
course.
still play it, along with other really old Nintendo games and all of that.
Yeah, totally.
So this is a classic game here.
Of course.
A good, solid game, filled with fun, and even better than a lot of newer games that are out.
Yeah. So, like Smash Bros. For Wii and 3DS. So this is all for Trash Talk Arc 4. We're kicking it off on a good note. So I'm Marcelo.
And I'm Wes, and this was Trash Talk Arc 4.
See you guys later.
Yay!
Super Smash Bros. Melee.